Oh, okay, it's recording. I made a few mistakes here, but that's job anyway. Let's see. Oh, we can see it from there now. I placed the carriage-bolt. I had some little shoestrings holding this together before because it fell apart one day. It's a folding chair. They well last 10 or 15 years anyhow. I've had this for about 25 now. About 12 years ago, the hinge broke on it, so I had some little lanyard from when I used to put handles on knives in the Navy, and I used it to strap up this side. I had some old shoelaces from my boondockers in the Navy, which were just shoes I wore all over the ship and the villages and stuff. And they had wax on them. They lasted a pretty long time. That's what I used on this side. But neighbor's dog jumped on me yesterday and knocked me down. It's not a big dog, a little dog, but it just kind of surprised me. I went in the chair, and the shoelaces finally popped open, so I just drilled a hole and put a carriage-bolt in to replace it. When I was driving this back up in the spot it's supposed to be, I broke a couple of these spokes out. So I had to glue that back together and then put another piece of wood on the top of it to hold it together. So I put some screws in that and glued it for now. So I glue up the seal over it. The bolts are what's going to really hold. The bolt and screws are what's going to hold it. Clamps on there just to hold it right now while it's drying up, and that's holding. This thing is I never would have built any of those decks outside like this thing. Yeah, it's clean enough. On the bottom, save all the dust, most of it anyway. So these corners off because they were sticking out. I put them in the wrong spot. I was in a hurry for the day. Main thing is the bolt. When it's glued down, the bolt's going to hold down the two screws on each side. Now hold together. You can do that with one. There's no reason anybody with one hand can't do this job. It's just a matter of getting the tools and getting around to doing it. What am I back over here for? I'm looking for the bolt. Had it in my hand just a second ago. There it is, the bolt right there. Just a little bolt. I think this used to be on a garage door, probably. Yeah, I recognize the bolt. Be on the garage door. Well, man, he never built anything without tearing something else apart. So we always had plenty of spare parts in the garage to put it back together with. Yeah, that's just barely long. So we hope this is going to work. Yeah, it's sticking out. Hold down. And of course, every carpenter's friend, the hammer. The mechanic's friend too. Can't do much without that. Tap it in good so that that bolt head underneath the smooth top will grab into the wood, and I guess I can bolt up with a 7/16 wrench. 209 9/16 wrench are the most commonly used wrenches for just about every bolt in a garage door.
Could use the socket on this too. Kill. Sockets. Okay, that's lighting up pretty good. You got too tight, you want to start splitting the wood. You don't want the glue pop off because it's tightened up there. I'll start taking the clamps off. Over time, make sure they slide, nothing pops out. Okay, glue's holding good. It doesn't even need the glue now. Not to sand these edges where I had to cut it off because I got it off center. Cut the exact right length before, but then I put it together off center. If you had the camera on thin, then I wouldn't have done anything wrong. I say now, it's the camera. Clamps, can't do much without them. It's a little hard to use with one hand because sometimes you cut your fingers on the threads, spinning them down the right height before you can get one hand on the, get them snug enough that you can get one hand on it and start turning with the crossbar. They sell some clamps. I don't have any, but they're on my site. That you can adjust with one hand and tighten up with one hand. Kind of jack them with one hand, just kind of jack tight. most of the things on my site that I'm selling, I've either used or I've looked for. I've wished I had to use. I wish I had so I could use them. Usually I had to make do with something else. Or end up getting the hand of somebody else, a neighbor, sometimes. This looks a little loose to me because it's been kind of beat up and thrown around for the last 20 years, but it's still good soldier. I don't know what kind of glue they originally used to put this together with. Hopefully it was some kind of exterior glue. I would imagine it was some kind of exterior glue. Who knows? They might have just put how much glue there. And went over it with some kind of varnish, hoping glue wouldn't get sopped up by water. Sold it as an outside shear. Anyway, that's basically what I'm going to do with it here with the glue on that. Go over it with Thompson's water seal and maybe some kind of caulking. Seal the edges. I don't know, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. I don't do tricks with, don't play around with tools when you're working. That's work and play doesn't mix too well. Truth both of us, but like I used to say. So there's time for work and time for play, and run the workshop, old tools, that's not the place to play. That's how people get hurt. And that bolt is out. And that's in the safety position. my DeWalt drills. I like this. This is a pretty good set. I've gotten dozens of different sets of drill bits over the years. Usually I only use about 2 or 3 drill bits are certain size, usually for like deck screws and stuff. I use them over and over again, so those are the ones I'm always just rebuying those and place them all. But then I get to where I do the whole deck and you buying carriage-bolts, then you're using about 5 or 6 different sizes of bolts and using fan bits and everything else. You don't know what a fan bit is, do you? Well, I found out today because they don't have them in here. No fan bits in there, but I found my pencil. Looking for that pencil for a long time. There's another clamp. Another clamp. And I found another screwdriver. There's all sorts of things in this little toolbox. I haven't seen one of these wrenches very often. It's what they had before they had ratchet wrenches. They had this little hook there. It hooks on 2 different types of, different sizes of nuts, either 9/16 or a 5/8. We call it. My dad used to call this a knuckle breaker because that's what we usually do with them, broke your knuckles. But you could kind of ratchet with it because you could slip it around the nut without taking it all the way off. You could just pull it part of the way, slip it up, you'd have to take it all the way off, turn around. You just find a spot on the nut where it would fit, and turn it more. You could just screw it a couple of notches on the edge of the nut, and then crack it down. Precursor to the ratchet wrench. They might still sell these. I don't know. They're handy to have if you don't mind breaking your knuckles up. It's kind of hard to put on bandages with one hand though. But I didn't put this one on quite straight. But that's life. It takes back up now. I'm going to vacuum this up. Well, this chair is pretty well finished. I know it's strong enough to sit in. I've sat in it before. Alright. Yeah, this chair's working pretty well. I'm probably talking to my stomach right now. That's probably what you're looking at. This looks a little bit like a fishing chair my dad used to have. Well, that one had canvas on it. Folded over and folded out and had canvas. Most of those old fishing chairs with a couple of pieces of wood with a bolt through them, canvas across the top, fold them up, put them out, zip my canvas, and the chair usually didn't fall down. I didn't lean back in it because it didn't have a back to it. If you're fishing was serious stuff. Well, with fishing, it didn't mean you were goofing off. You were out getting food for the family. Well, let's see. That's about, I think I kind of diverged off the track of this whole tape here.
Well, I was just showing you how to use a couple of tools here.
Yeah, how do I loosen that up? Don't know. And I think that's pretty much it for this video. You always put on your hat when you do stuff like this, because sawdust gets in your hair, and then you gotta wash your hair, and I gotta wash my hair now. I'll go to sleep. I had wore a hat because he was bald and it cuts on his scalp. You know, touch the scalp. Well, I got in a habit, and it's a good habit to get into. Okay, I'm going to enter here. Cut. Done. I always stop that.